Perhaps you felt it, that persistent sense that something is missing. You have everything together on the outside, yet inside there's an ache, a quiet question that won't leave you alone. Is this all there is? Maybe you're tired of skimming the surface of life. You're longing for depth, for meaning, for connection to something greater than yourself. If you're here, some part of you already knows. Your struggles have a spiritual dimension, and you're not broken. You're being called to become whole. We live in an age that has forgotten the soul. Mainstream culture tells us to produce, consume, stay busy, never look inside. When we struggle, we're offered quick fixes, symptom management, surface solutions. But you've tried those approaches, haven't you? Maybe they've helped. Maybe they gave you some coping skills, but they didn't touch the deeper ache. Because your depression, your anxiety, your emptiness, these aren't just chemical imbalances to correct. They're messengers. They're your soul's way of getting your attention. They're calling you toward the life you were meant to live. Jungian therapy offers something fundamentally different. Founded by Swiss psychiatrist Carl Jung, this depth-oriented approach recognizes that your psyche isn't just a repository of problems. It's a wellspring of wisdom, creativity, and healing. Unlike approaches that focus on symptom management, Jungian therapy asks, what is your psyche trying to tell you? What wants to emerge from the depths? Through dreams, active imagination, and compassionate dialogue, we explore the unconscious dimensions of your psyche. We work with your shadow, those disowned parts of yourself that, when integrated, restore your vitality and authenticity. We discover the archetypal patterns giving your life meaning. And we honor what Jung called individuation, your psyche's innate drive towards wholeness, towards becoming your true self. This isn't about fixing you. It's about helping you remember the wholeness that was always there, waiting to be reclaimed. Jungian therapy is particularly powerful if you're seeking meaning, but feel spiritually empty. If you're facing creative blocks or life transitions, a midlife crisis, a career crossroads, the sense that you're being called to a new chapter in your life. If you keep repeating the same painful patterns despite your best efforts, and if you've experienced trauma and you're ready not just to manage symptoms, but to find meaning within your suffering. Or if you simply sense that something is stirring, an inner urgency, a voice from the depths, a feeling that your soul is demanding attention. You might have tried other therapies and found them helpful but incomplete. If you sense your struggles are a crisis of meaning, not just chemistry, then Jungian work offers what you've been searching for. My name is Dr. Bren, and I understand this journey intimately because I've lived it. For years, I was a senior manager in management consulting, specializing in IT. From the outside, everything looked successful, but inside, I was burnt out. That persistent feeling that something was missing grew louder and louder until I could no longer ignore it. The crisis became my calling. I left the corporate world and devoted myself to depth psychology. Today, with over 20 years of experience as a Jungian therapist, I help others navigate the same journey I once faced, from burnout and emptiness to meaning and wholeness. I know what it's like to have everything together on paper and feel lost. I know the courage it takes to leave the familiar and descend into the unknown. And I know the transformation that awaits on the other side. This is depth work, not surface work. It requires courage, time, and a willingness to face the unknown within yourself. But for those ready to do this work, the rewards are profound. You'll discover greater self-awareness, understanding the unconscious patterns that have been directing your life. You'll experience integration and wholeness, reclaiming the exiled parts of yourself. You'll connect to meaning and purpose beyond others' expectations. Your relationships will deepen. Your creativity will unlock. You'll find the sacred within your own depths. As Jung said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. Jungian therapy offers you the tools to stop being ruled by unseen forces and instead become the conscious author of your own story. We create what Jung called a temenos, a sacred space where deep psychological and spiritual work can unfold. We'll explore your dreams, those nightly messages from your unconscious. We'll use active imagination to dialogue with the figures that arise from your depths. Like Ariadne's thread in the labyrinth, this work offers you a way through the maze. But you are the hero or the heroine of this journey. I'm just here as someone who's walked this path, from corporate burnout to soul work, from emptiness to meaning. I'll walk beside you as your guide, but this is your transformation. Jung understood that the soul is symphonic. When we deny parts of the music, when we repress our shadows, ignore our dreams, reject the sacred, we live diminished lives. But when we engage the full symphony, we discover we are far more than we thought we were. This depth work doesn't just heal individuals, it reconnects us to each other, to the natural world, to the numinous dimension of existence itself. In a disenchanted world, it offers re-enchantment. If something in these words resonated with you, if you felt that quiet yes of recognition, then perhaps your psyche is already calling you toward this work. You don't have to have it all figured out, you just have to be willing to begin. Are you ready to descend into the depths of your psyche and return transformed? Jung said, your visions become clear only when you can look into your heart. Who looks outside dreams. Who looks inside awakens. Namaste.